Welcome back to this serial of Secrets of STEMSEL Club in Sims 4. At the end of last episode, Mr. Jarrell told Mr. Francisco that he had a plan to protect the treasure while catching the thief. He understood that Mr. Francisco had some doubt about his student's ability to carry out such a high-tech plan. After all, the security vault uses the most up-to-date technology, including facial recognition, which involves artificial intelligence. Nevertheless, they both agreed that Mr. Francisco should not contact the company that installed the security vault. Mr. Francisco could not contact the company without reporting the incident to the police first. As a public figure, Mr. Francisco does not want to have police cars swarmed out of his property and see his name in the headlines of newspapers. This is the reason why he turned to Mr. Jarrell for help in the first place. Helping Mr. Francisco in his current situation poses a challenge to Mr. Jarrell, who is not a trained IT engineer specialized in the security equipment and devices. Yet, with some understanding of the new runlinc technology his students are learning at the STEMSEL Club, he is confident with his plan to catch the thief if another attempt is made. To carry out his plan, he jumped into action. First, he called Mr. Champagne, a runlinc specialist. He told him about what happened with the security vault without mentioning Mr. Francisco's name and the content in the vault. He told Mr. Champagne that he is interested in testing out his students' skills if they can be guided into making a runlinc project catching images of people breaking into the vault. Mr. Champagne agreed with Mr. Jarrell that learning STEM and coding is all about solving real-world problems. The runlinc technology is developed for the purpose of giving young students a tool while learning through a problem-solving approach. He had a discussion with Mr. Jarrell on the details of the plan. To help Ms Galea, Mr. Champagne offered to do a workshop with the students at Newcrest College to start the project. Mr. Jarrell thanked Mr. Champagne for his support and went to Ms Galea with his plan for the runlinc project. Ms Galea became excited by the possibility of involving her students in a real-world problem-solving project. She was also happy that Mr. Champagne would join her at the workshop. She hurried to send a notice of the newly scheduled date and time of the workshop to her students. After setting his plan into action, Mr. Jarrell went to see Lonnie, the Year 10 student who tended to avoid anything related to STEM and coding. Not to give out any details, Mr. Jarrell just told Lonnie that he was recommended by his teacher to participate in a project involving working with a well-known contemporary artist. "I don't want to make you feel pushed for doing this," Mr. Jarrell told Lonnie. "He may choose to do it or maybe not as he likes." Lonnie thanked Mr. Jarrell for giving him an opportunity to try. The next day, Mr. Champagne went to the school and met with Mr. Jarrell and Ms Galea. Mr. Jarrell introduced him to Ms Galea as a runlinc specialist and as an experienced teacher in STEM and programming. Mr. Champagne explained how he will start his workshop by asking the students to go to the runlinc online course. Ms Galea introduced Mr. Champagne to the students of the workshop. Mr. Champagne started the workshop by asking the students to find Project A1, the one line of IoT camera streaming to your web page. He led the students to go through the course materials including the video and the PDF. The workshop was a big success.
"This is fun!"
Matteo exclaimed. Lonnie also told Mr. Jarrell that he somehow feels more interested in learning runlinc while it does not involve too much difficulties and frustration. "I will stay and learn more," he told Mr. Jarrell. While the students are all engaged and eager to do so, Mr. Jarrell and Ms Galea plan for more workshops with the support from Mr. Champagne to finalize the plan to help Mr. Francisco with his security issue. This is the end of the episode. In the next episode, we will continue to see how Mr. Jarrell's plan will work using runlinc technology to create vision.